A few years ago, I reviewed Alien vs. Predator, which recently had its anniversary last year, by the way. Now, of course, I will finally review its sequel, Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Or Requiem. So, I'm sorry I mispronounced it. But is it really that bad as they say it is? Is it really as more bad than its predecessor? Or will I be able to defend this considering I've only seen it twice? Find out as I review AVPR right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I, of course, am the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2007 sci-fi horror film or horror action Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. Stylized on screen as AVPR, released by Fox, directed by the Brothers Strauss, starring Steven Pasquale, Reiko Aylesworth, John Ortiz, Johnny Lewis and Ariel Gade. The film was written by Shane Salerno and is a direct sequel to the 2004 Alien vs. Predator film. And it's only the latest in the franchise and only the second film. The sixth overall film in the Alien franchise and fourth overall Predator film. Now then, if you haven't seen my review of that film of Alien vs. Predator, check out by clicking on that card and it'll take you to the vid before you go into this vid. Okay, now that's out of the way. This film was released on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2007, after it was released over a month prior in LA. This was set immediately after the events of the first film and begins with a Predator ship crashing into a forest outside of Gunnison, Colorado, where an alien Predator hybrid known as Predalien escapes and makes its way to the nearby small town. And a skilled veteran cleaner Predator is dispatched to kill it, and the townspeople try to escape the ensuing carnage. Like the first film, it got dissed even more than its predecessor. But unlike that film, the MPA gave this an R rating, not a PG-13 rating like its predecessor. Let's begin with the story. A Predator ship leaves Earth carrying captured xenomorph facehuggers and Scar's body before a chestburster emerges. With characteristic traits of both species, the chestburster quickly matures into an adult Predalien and starts slaughtering the predators aboard. One predator blows up the ship's hull and its plasma casters, causing it to crash in a forest outside of Gunnison, Colorado. The last surviving predator on board sends a distress signal before being killed by the Predalien. The Predalien and several facehuggers escape, implanting embryos in several humans. On the home planet of the predators, Wolf, a highly skilled veteran predator, receives a distress signal and departs for Earth, intent on solely exterminating the Predalien and the xenomorphs. He arrives at the site where the ship crashed, where he uses an acid-like liquid to dissolve all the evidence of the dead predators, facehuggers, and their victims. He also triggers a bomb that destroys the entire ship. Meanwhile, ex-convict Dallas Howard returns to Gunnison after serving time in prison. He reunites with his younger brother Ricky, who is in love with his classmate Jesse Salinger, but is constantly harassed by her boyfriend Dale Collins and his two friends. Kelly O'Brien also returns to Gunnison after serving in the Marines and reunites with her husband Tim and daughter Molly. Wolf starts killing xenomorphs in the sewer, but four manage to escape. He pursues some to the power plant where collateral damage from the fight causes a citywide power outage. Ricky and Jesse meet at the high school swimming pool but are interrupted by Dale and his cohorts just as the power goes out. A xenomorph then appears and kills Dale's friends, but Dale, Jesse, and Ricky escape. Another xenomorph invades the O'Brien's home, killing Tim, while Kelly escapes with Molly. Ricky, Jesse, Dale, Dallas, and Sheriff Eddie Morales gather at a sporting goods store to collect weapons, where Kelly and Molly meet them. Reinforcements from the Colorado Army National Guard arrive, but are quickly ambushed and slaughtered by the Xenomorphs. Wolf captures Dallas inside the store to use as bait to lure the Xenomorphs. Several Xenomorphs arrive, with Dale killed during the battle by a Xenomorph, and one of Wolf's shoulder plasma casters gets damaged, but Wolf reconfigures it into a plasma pistol. Now I'm going to go to the final act and the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You got 5 seconds to sub this video at once. Excuse me. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. As the survivors attempt to escape Gunnison, they learn Colonel Stevens is staging an air evacuation at the town center. Dallas and Kelly, however, are skeptical since going there would cause them to become surrounded by xenomorphs. All of them head towards the helicopter to evacuate the town, while A and Darcy head to the evacuation zone. However, the hospital has been overrun by xenomorphs and the Pred alien. Wolf arrives at the hospital and dispatches more xenomorphs. During the battle, he accidentally kills Jessie with a shuriken when she panics. Distraught, Ricky rushes Wolf with gunfire, only to be injured by the Pred alien. A xenomorph attacks Wolf and both tumble down an elevator shaft. Dallas takes possession of Wolf's plasma pistol. Dallas, Ricky, Kelly, and Molly reach the roof and fight off several xenomorphs before escaping in the helicopter. Wolf, having survived the fall, battles the Pred alien on the roof. The two mortally wound each other. Wolf by the stabbing stabbing the Pred alien in the head, and the Pred alien by impaling the Predator with its tail. Just as an F-22 Raptor arrives and drops a tactical nuclear weapon which annihilates the Pred alien, Wolf, and all of the townspeople there and the rest of the xenomorphs. The shockwave causes the fleeing helicopter to crash in a forest clearing where the military rescues the survivors. Wolf's plasma pistol is confiscated from Dallas, and his brother is given medical attention. Shortly after, Colonel Stevens presents the plasma pistol to Mrs. Yutani, claiming that the world is not yet ready for this kind of technology. End of story. So, what did I think of AVPR, which is Alien vs. Predator Requiem? Well, though I've only seen the film twice, I'm going to say it's not completely that bad. Well, I much did like the first film for obvious reasons, since after seeing its special, unrated cut, I am going to say it proved to be pretty fair and what have you, but maybe not the best of the series, though. Upon its release, the film was dissed hard. 12% on Rotten Tomatoes, way off from the 21% its predecessor has, saying the increased score and violence over the first AVP can't excuse this one's disorientating editing, excessively murky lighting, and lack of new ideas. Well, I agree. The lighting was really great, and yeah, what they did for it wasn't really that good either because they dissed it for a lack of originality. Yes. So this is kind of a mixed bag. Metacritic has a score of 29, and audience is followed by Cinema Score giving an average C. Empire called it an early but strong contender for worst movie of 2018. Film Threat felt the camera work is a smidge too shaky and the lighting color design too dark for me to relish the Predator on alien butt kicking. Yeah, it's kind of a big negative I've got with this. Yeah, I really would have appreciated a little more of that. But I did like some of the action though. Entertainment Weekly's Chris Nashawai felt it was a B movie that truly earns its B, giving it a B. Joe Layton of Variety said it provides enough cheap thrills and modest suspense to shake a few shekels from genre fans before really blasting off as home vid product. Well, that's understandable. Yes. The New York Times stated it may not be classic sci-fi like the original Alien, which it has in its DNA, but it's a perfectly respectable next step in the series. Yes, I feel like it was fine and what have you. Despite it got nominated for even 2 Razzies, but it didn't win though. And despite getting this even worse than its predecessor, the film still was a modest success, going on to make 130 million worldwide on its $40 million budget. Now there were plans for another sequel, but they were abandoned. But there were further independent entries in both franchises released a few years later in 2010 and 2012. Anyway, yes. Which, of course, in 2010 we got Predators, and in 2012 we got Prometheus. So overall, AVPR, it's got its issues though and flaws, but it's still alright. Brian Tyler does the score for the film, which I felt was good. For the cast, we have Steven Pasquale, or Pasquale, so if I mispronounce that, I apologize, playing Dallas Howard. He was fine. Reiko Aylesworth as Kelly O'Brien, good. John Ortiz as Eddie, not bad. Actually, most of this cast isn't too bad. Johnny Lewis as Ricky, Sam Trammell as Tim, Ariel Gade as Molly, Robert Joy as Colonel Stevens, Kristen Hager as Jesse. Yeah, the list could go on and on. And Ian White played the Predator, and I do mean Wolf. The production team nicknamed that character after Harvey Keitel's character in Pulp Fiction, whose role is also that of a cleaner. Which I think that was pretty decent. So with everything said, Aliens versus Predator Requiem, it's fine and what have you, but it just has its flaws and what have you. Wait, a little too many though. But I still appreciate some of the action, despite the lack of lying. But it did have some pretty bloody fight scenes though. So overall, it's an okay film. Would I recommend it though? Well, you be the judge. I can recommend you give it a one-time watch or avoid it. I'm gonna make it, yeah, that will do it. A draw between avoid it or give it a one-time watch. Okay? What did you think of Aliens versus Predator Requiem? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of the 2018 film The Predator. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the film that started it off, Alien from 1979. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the film that started the other franchise off, which is Predator from 1987. Or if you'd like another alien-type film, check out my review of Species from 1995 in the bottom left-hand corner. Reviews for the sequels to that are coming up real soon. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.